In 1963, the bald eagle population in the contiguous United States reached a historic low. There were only 417 known nesting pairs left in the wild. Reversing that decline required a massive intervention. Based on the research of scientists like Rachel Carson, the federal government moved to ban the pesticide DDT, which had been decimating eagle shells for decades. The response was immediate. By 2007, the species was removed from the endangered list, and by 2019, the population had climbed to more than 300,000 individual birds. This recovery is often framed as a completed mission. The bald eagle returned to its status as a thriving national symbol, appearing to be a fully resolved chapter in conservation history. However, high population counts can mask underlying environmental vulnerabilities. A species that appears numerically stable on paper can still remain highly susceptible to changes in its habitat. In Pennsylvania, wildlife rehabilitation centers are currently reporting a surge of bald eagles arriving with severe neurological damage and involuntary tremors. These eagles exhibit a range of extreme symptoms, from head tilts and instability to permanent brain lesions. At the same time, along the shorelines of the Great Lakes, researchers are documenting a different failure: nesting pairs that are healthy and active, yet unable to successfully hatch their young. These localized mass casualties and reproductive failures raise a difficult question. A bird with no natural predators and strict legal protections is suffering from invisible, systemic illnesses that the population numbers don't account for. Bald eagles occupy a specific niche as apex predators and opportunistic scavengers. Because they rely so heavily on fish and waterfowl, their health is an exact reflection of the aquatic food web. This biological position makes them a sentinel species, acting as an environmental sponge. Through biomagnification, trace elements compound as they move up the chain. By the time an eagle feeds at the top of that funnel, it ingests a highly concentrated dose. This mechanism ensures that eagles are the first to manifest the effects of any new chemical or biological change in the ecosystem. The nest failures in the Great Lakes illustrate how these legacy contaminants continue to impact reproduction. While DDT was banned, other industrial substances like PCBs and dioxins remain embedded in the sediment of the Great Lakes. These chemicals move from the sediment into migrating fish, which the eagles then scavenge and hunt. Once absorbed, these concentrated toxins disrupt the biological processes necessary for developing viable embryos and hatching healthy chicks. Policy changes can stop the flow of new chemicals, but the existing contaminants can persist in a food web for generations. The neurological crisis in Pennsylvania highlights a different kind of environmental pressure: highly pathogenic avian influenza. Pennsylvania sits directly on the Atlantic Flyway, a primary migration route for thousands of waterfowl that can carry the virus from the Arctic to the south. When infected snow geese die along the route, eagles scavenge the carcasses and ingest a lethal viral load. For a species that only produces 1 to 3 eggs per year, the sudden loss of breeding adults to a virus can cause local populations to stall or decline rapidly. Traditional protections like habitat restoration and hunting bans offer no defense against a virus that moves through the environment this way. The bald eagle is no longer on the verge of extinction, but its biological role as a sentinel makes it permanently vulnerable to shifts in its environment. The success of the initial recovery proves that focused federal policy and stewardship can reverse a population collapse. The current struggles of the eagle provide an early warning for the health of our own shared water and food sources. Managing a recovered species requires a permanent commitment to ecosystem maintenance and constant monitoring to ensure that a population rebound doesn't lead to complacency.